Hello noble home dogs and pup champs. In today's video, Happy New Year then. So it was announced a little while back that Spider-Man would be getting a brand new costume in the comic books. And Marvel have been hyping this thing up, milking all the publicity out that they can as if it's this brand new redefining look for Spider-Man for a brand new generation. And now the design is here and it's a drastic departure from what we've had before, and Spider-Man fans are unhappy, and guys, I'm gonna stop you right there and just wind the clock back a little bit. I remember when Amazing Spider-Man issue 700 came out and Peter Parker was dead and Doc Ock was the new Spider-Man, and it looked as though this thing was never going to change back to what it was before for my younger self. In the fan mail column at the end of the issue, there were people saying, will Peter Parker be coming back? And Dan Slott said no. Even Stan Lee was uneasy about this change. And as a teenager, I thought this was going to be a completely permanent change, that in the Ultimate Universe, we had Miles Morales as Spider-Man, and in the 616 universe, we had Dr. Octavius as Spider-Man. And lo and behold, just like the Azrael Batman of the 1990s, which was a drastic departure that everybody didn't like and DC insisted was a mainstay, it came to pass. Bruce Wayne would be back in the Batsuit, and just as Peter Parker was back in his own body. So, this suit here is not going to be some redefining costume that completely changes Spider-Man for a brand new generation, and this will, in their eyes, be the definitive Spider-Man. Marvel knows just as well as you do that they're never going to top the red and blue suit as a mainstay staple of what Spider-Man is. It is intrinsic to his character, it is a cultural icon, so let's just get past that already. I'm not going to pretend to be all ragey and terrified that this is the end of Spider-Man as we know it just for clicks, even though the comics haven't been something I've been following for quite a long time. So with all the spin aside, with all the publicity aside, and with all the foolery aside, let's talk about this new Spider-Man costume. And well, it's certainly something. The main thing I can say about it is that it's different. It's like you take the same overall Spider-Man structure, but completely replace the details. Boom, there's the new suit. It seems we've gone back to 2006 where white is in now. You want something to look technological looking, you make it in white. As this rings true for the PlayStation 5, the Spider-Man Advanced suit in Spider-Man PS4, and this suit here, which looks to be a more technologically augmented Spider-Man costume. This is something that's clearly going with the times right now, and riding the wave of advanced white technology, I guess. And as far as all of Spider-Man's iconography beyond the color scheme goes, it's all been traded out. There are no webs on this costume whatsoever. It's clearly meant to look a little bit more technological. The spider on the chest is now this sort of fiery orange neon look, and this looks like an overall less friendly Spider-Man as well. The eyes really do give me flashbacks to Instant Kill in Spider-Man Homecoming. They no longer look all expressive and friendly, they look cold and sunken in. He's got this chunky thing on his wrist which looks like it's kind of like a digital watch in a way, because it's got that sort of digital text on it, which I think is already dated. But it does match the Stark logo in the background, which leads me to believe that this costume is going to have some Stark involvement, because I mean, it looks more like the kind of thing that Stark would come up with than Peter Parker. To be honest, this costume doesn't necessarily scream Spider-Man at me. I get more of a Blue Beetle vibe from this. And it is one of those things where looking at this, I'm not 100% sure what this suit would be made of, whether it be made of metal because it's got some armor lines on it, or whether or not it's a spandex suit. And that's something that I think kind of irks me a little bit, is this costume doesn't really tell us a lot about what this costume is. Like, you look at the classic Spider-Man, that can only be a spandex fabric-y material. You look at the symbiote, and it looks kind of otherworldly. Like, that could be made of kind of a rubbery substance or something like that. With this here, I can't really tell. And obviously the eyes look quite a lot less expressive. Like, if this was a replacement suit and it was a permanent replacement, I would say, yeah, it's obviously inferior. The original is an icon. This looks like it's been very much made to meet today's times, so it's going to age like milk. I mean, the digital wristwatch thing he's got going on, that already looks dated. The neon on the suit, It looks dated. The eyes, reductive. They look cold, they look evil. This suit doesn't really tell us much about who Spider-Man is as a character. So no, it definitely would not make a worthy mainstay replacement. But as far as an alt suit goes, it's okay. I don't love it. It's definitely no Miles Morales suit, that's for sure, as far as reinvented reworkings of the classic Spider-Man look go. But it's alright. It's not too over-designed, which is always the one thing that I think they take too far with modernizations of certain superhero costumes, as they tend to be a bit over-designed. This is okay. They haven't absolutely smothered it with armor lines or additional gadgets. They've been fairly restrained with that. So as far as a suit goes for Spider-Man for a few issues, or maybe just the year, this is okay, but even then, I'm gonna hazard a bet that the suit is gonna change back to the classic suit once Spider-Man 3 comes out into theaters. I remember with Superior Spider-Man, once The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was out, they switched it back to Peter Parker. It's so that the people that have watched those movies who would then be going to check out the comic books can have something that is a little closer to what they've come to expect. Because whenever a superhero movie comes out, there are people that do want to check out the comic books as well. And obviously you don't want to have those newcomers come back and be like, what the fuck is this, you know? So at the absolute latest, I would say he's going to change back into the red and blue in December. Now, I do think there are ways that this costume could look a bit better. I would definitely say change the color scheme from blue, white, and orange to still having it in kind of like a red and black, but with the white on. In fact, just give me a second.
Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Push me on through until the battle's won. No one's gonna give something to us. Into each other we put our trust. Standing united after the fight. Alone we will never be the two of us.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think that's a bit better. So yeah, overall, it is what it is. It's okay, but don't panic. Spider-Man's going to be back in his red and blues in no time. I do wonder what the story is going to be surrounding this, or if, like, the fan backlash will calm down a little bit by the time that the comic run comes out. I don't know. Maybe it'll look better within the pages and within the context of the story as well. These are very stylized images. I'm not sure how I feel about how much orange is on this page here. So I don't know. Maybe it's going to grow on people. I don't know. I mean, I've looked at this a few times now. When I first saw it, I was like, well, that's not so bad. Then I was like, it's a little weird, and now I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's an oddity, but like, who cares, you know? Another great example of this is New 52 Superman, because like with the New 52 designs in DC Comics, they really tried to kind of push those as this is the new status quo, and New 52 Superman stuck around for a very long time, and I thought it was never going to go away, and I didn't really like it. I wasn't obsessed with the armor lines, I didn't like the collar, I didn't like New 52 Superman's design. And it changed back in the end. It took ages, but it changed back. Like, you're never gonna truly shake off the classic iconography of legacy superheroes, and Spider-Man is no exception, and Marvel knows that. It's all just a publicity stunt. So yeah, that's that, I guess. Well, what do you guys think? Comment below and discuss, and as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and in the description below are different links to different social media feeds, including a Patreon and a join button for if you're feeling extra supportive and extra generous, but of course, you don't have to do that. That's a big ask. I would never expect that of you. So guys, thank you so much for watching, have a happy new year, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching.